Rob is going to redo the Peter Cook and Dudley Moore. You know, that's a ship, and your mother's in Switten with a sailor.
I'll beat you with my shoe.
So what?
Starboard side 2 means against the pier.
Well, why, this isn't the real gangplank?
Well, it's the gangplank, but it's not
the one we're using. We always had the gangway on the other side of the ship.
Why is that?
It was most convenient for the hangar deck and...
Well, now, was this where the, all the planes were stored in that
hangar deck.
Big bay?
Hangar deck.
Right.
Yes.
So this is where we're going.
Yep.
So does it look any different, Dad? Is it smaller, bigger than you imagined?
No, it looks about the same, except it wasn't... We didn't have carpeting. All right, well, we'll let it go down to the boardroom.
Dad, which one of these 4 openings is where he was shaking hands at the picture on the wall of the bank? Okay, I want to show him something too when you're talking.
These are the 2 airplanes that I flew while I was in the Navy.
Which one? This one?
This is a 06F Hellcat.
What do you sound like? It's a heck cat.
And then this is one that George Bush flew also. It's a torpedo bomber.
Well, he flew it part of the way.
TBF, Grumman airplane. This one, which was the SB-2C, and it was hated by all the pilots in the Navy, and they had all kinds of obscene names for it.
Why was it hated?
Well, because it wasn't a very suitable carrier airplane. Look how close that comes to the overhead.
Well, what? Was it difficult to land or was it difficult to fly?
It was difficult to land, difficult to fly, and it caught on fire when it had a flight deck crash. So it was just kind of a bad combination right there.
What was it called? What was the name? Helldiver.
Well, what was it really called?
Helldiver.
No, but I mean by the pilots.
By the pilots.
All the bad nicknames.
SB-2C. It was the SB-2C.
Ah.
So they shortened it into a pro word, SB-2C.
I see.
And they had some other names too, which Chris shouldn't be talking about.
So is this similar to what you've...
This is the latest model. This is what they're going to have on all the aircraft carriers next year. Believe that?
So now is this similar to what you learned to fly on?
When I learned to fly?
Yes.
No, it was a little more modern than that. It's Eddie Rickenbacker was.
He's not that old.
This is an add-on here. This looks like a stage for a rock concert.
So this wasn't here in the old days?
No.
What, Dad, what was this area? Was this just a hangar deck for all the airplanes, or was this staterooms?
This is strictly the hangar deck.
So none of this was staterooms or anything?
Next deck down.
Ah.
Now this, and you know, this looks much bigger now than it did. This was my territory.
Yes.
interesting thing happened one time. We were in very heavy seas, and in the corners is somebody is on watch to make sure none of the airplanes come loose, and that kind of, it's called a conflagration watch. Conflagration means a big fire and that kind of thing. And this airplane broke the chains and got loose and started banging around.
Jeez.
In here, and these doors are hydraulically operated. And very, very smart sailor, he saw the plane come between the two doors. He closed the doors and trapped it.
Wow.
Really smart. And of course, he got a commendation for that because he saved a lot of wrecks that would have happened if he hadn't done it.
What was the review?
Bumpy.
The three guys. The airplane ride, real airplane. Not this rough.
Really? Not even the takeoff?
No. This is overdone. Overdone.
Well, what about the landing? The landing seemed a little abrupt.
The landing's all right, but first of all, the airplane does not bump around like that. Even in rough air, you're always down in the seat. You'd never be sliding back and forth like that.
Well, there's no seatbelt, so we were really rocking around.
But if you were sliding around, it means that you're flying very badly.
Right.
So you're always down in the seat. The other thing is, jet engine are behind you. You wouldn't hear all that noise.
Ah.
So it's much quieter in the jet airplane.
Now, what about the rough air on the way back? Is it because they were shooting at the plane? Is that why there was all that missile turbulence?
There would be, the turning was good and all, but all this rough air sliding back and forth, pilots would quit. They wouldn't fly anymore. I mean, you couldn't do that every day.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. Remember.
Yeah.
What does that mean? I don't know. I can't see it.
Veteran.
The way you figure it out is the island is always on the starboard side. Then that means pointy end is straight ahead.
You mean the bow?
Pointy end. They were red and the center line light was white. Number one wire would be here. The girls with the red jacket, that would be the end of the landing area.
So how many wires would be that?
4. Well, this on the Intrepid was left behind by me. Hey Chris, that's the ramp. Let's hit that.
Yeah, this fence was gone, obviously. Makes the landing more challenging.
See how it's leveled down? That's in case you come in a little low. The wheels do hit it. It's still safe.
Now, where's the landing signal officer's area? Isn't that right behind you?
Up here. Let me see if they retain it.
That's the LSO platform where he waves you on if you're unsafe for landing.
Well, where the ladder comes up.
See, I was telling you, when you were on Intrepid, we never had these long stripes. All the carriers did. You
The meatball.
The meatball is the mirror.
Oh, okay.
The source light was the one that puts the meatball
Right.
on the mirror. And the reference lights, top and bottom, which are very directional. If you're high, you can see the highlights. And
Right.
if you're low, so
Yeah, but that yellow is
no, just one, just a side. No, because the pilot, the two-seated airplane, is on this side.
Yeah, but that would be with the logo on this stuff, right?
So what's the joke?
The joke is that that yellow crane-like thing is called the tilly. But when you were a kid, you knew about the utility room where the washer and dryer was, so you got that confused with that, so you called this the tility.
You remember that story,
I
don't
used
you?
to give you a hard time
Of
about
course, yeah.
that.
Right.
Okay, there you go.
But
So I
no,
want your picture
the
of it.
tilly was a giant thing. You could pick up an airplane and carry it over the side and drop
So that's just some sort of.
it. That's to move people off the deck
Oh.
if they collapse.
Where?
You know, see where the tower is? Not the lower one, the upper one.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, when I sat in my chair, I would put my feet up there to take a nap, and the panel that faces the deck, not the side panel, but the one that faces the deck.
So you took a nap when you were on duty?
In between launches and recoveries, there's 20 minutes.
Ah.
What was that clear glass below where that ladder is? Right there. What goes on in there? Or anything, if anything. Below Pry-Fly, about 10
Okay.
feet.
You know, that was part of flight options. But it looks, to me, it looks different than I remember it.
Look at Chris, he got up the ladder there. Not above intake. I understand there's been talk about it several times. You actually crawled in that ladder saying, I want out. I'm not doing this thing.
Yes, I did. And I don't care who hears it.
What is it?
When the catapult was fired, the shuttle was pulled forward, it shears the hull down, and goes sailing up there. This comes to a sudden stop, but the airplane doesn't. And the cable is saved.
There's all that space there.
So but there's 4 catapults, right?
No, Intrepid only had 2.
Oh.
The waste catapults at the end of the landing area was reserved for the larger ships.
Oh.
How many people fly in that zone? What?
Look at it. Look at the must have bombs. The engines are the biggest part out. But the thing about it, it's got 2 advantages. One is that it doesn't show up on radar too well. And the other is it's faster than most fighters.
I think it's a fun plane to fly.
Sure.
And I haven't heard about anybody complain about it. I guess it is.
Looks like it goes real fast.
Sure it was.
Bob, explain the catapults to Chris.
Hey, you see you know what part of the catapult this is? This is called a shuttle. And when the airplane pulls up here, the cable goes around and it hooks onto on the airplane. And the airplane has hooks that look like this thing. Okay? So when the catapult is fired, this thing is pulled up forward to the bow of the ship. It pulls the airplane and then it stops suddenly. And the airplane keeps going and the shuttle stops and it's pulled back by these cables.
Have you noticed, when I was here last time, I want to walk up to the plane in the very front.
Yeah, pointy end of the boat.
Right. His name's on that plane? Oh, it's not yours. It's still the same.
it makes such a difference. It makes them feel more. 30 years, he was a great friend of mine. Nothing he hasn't been since. But he was an aviator. That was the top of them all. It would have been nice if we came here and they had his name on it.
If you donate a lot of money. Let's go down and join them. Where? Where?
Right here. You know him, Chris. I'll take a picture of him.
This is what we call the pointy end of the boat.
So, Dad, can you say a few words about Bob Rasmussen?
Can I say a few words about him? Actually, Rob knows the story of how Bob's name, seagull there. How Bob's name got on the airplane.
So who was Bob Rasmussen?
Yeah, who was he?
Who was Bob Rasmussen? Bob Rasmussen was a pilot on the cruise where I was the assistant air officer on the trip, 1961 to 62. And he married the daughter of a good friend of mine, Phyllis Coulter.
Good friend was
He, very good.
Jack.
And he eventually retired and became the curator of the Naval Museum, Air Museum.
Oh, you mean Jack Coulter became the curator?
No, Bob Rasmussen.
I thought Bob.
me.
I thought. It's at lunch. I thought Bob Rasmussen died in an accident.
No, that's
that
the
was
other
Tex
guy.
Hunter.
That was his
Hunter.
brother-in-law. Jack Coulter's other
Jack
son-in-law.
Coulter was the father-in-law of those two guys.
Oh,
All right?
yes,
Did I tell a story?
yes.
Well,
And then-
he got his. Go ahead.
When I came here to see with you last time, years ago, I saw his name up there, and then I saw an article in the paper that he was the curator of the Pensacola Naval Museum. So I called him up and asked him about how his name got on there, and he said he arranged to have the plane down here, so they put his name on there.
So I said to
Well,
Lynn,
that's-
I said to Lynn, I said, wouldn't it be nice if Dad said on his name? Just send the
Back.
money. Just send the money.
Yeah, I
Well,
figure
again,
it's a.
85 up here, and I'll get the paint. Come down, and you think you're all tired out, and it's like, where's the ladder? What's the way out?
So you still have dreams about the Intrepid, about carriers?
No. It could be about a coal mine, or it could be about a steel mill.
Oh, so it's not about the Intrepid specifically.
Never dream about the Intrepid.
Hey, how could you have slid down these stairs, Bob? They have,
Well, first of all, you have to be young.
no, they have these pipes that stop.
And also, it's so safe when you just put it on your elbows. We had a minor emergency coming back and had to
Wonder what
remind
you paid to
everybody
have that name
to
over
get the
on.
lights to work at night.
Let's walk over here just for a second.
So this is the plane Dad picked up Uncle Gene up in Memphis.
I qualified on this type of ship, my first qualification, and those models do not show how narrow that ship was. The wings of the airplane extended over the deck edge on either side. It was that small. It was a converted coal barge or something.
And what was the name of that carrier that you
What was
learned on?
called a Long Island, something that had to do with island. Long Island something. That's the only thing I did on it, was qualified, did 10 landings, and that was it. Rob wants to show me something. Listen, I'd like to go down to my room.
Where were you? Do you
I
remember?
was the air boss, right probably at the bottom of this ladder here. The wardroom is right here.
I was trying to get her to. I remember only going down one deck.
Remember, and you know what? I don't know. The other folks are there are other former crew members that are around the museum. They may be able to help you even more. I'll take you down to my office and some of the classroom areas. The only thing I have to do is I have to run up to the boss for for 1 minute, and I'll be right back if you just wanted to wait, and
that'd be
then
great.
I'll bring you down.
Because I remember
That'd
my,
be great. That'd be
my
wonderful.
stateroom was right down off this way.
Okay.
Right, let
We'll
me
be right
know-
here.
Yeah,
Aren't the
let me run
nameplates
this
still
up.
on the doors?
Well,
Some of them
which
are,
comes
some of them
back?
aren't. And something, when were you on board?
61 to 63.
All right, I'll be right back.
Yeah. Well, we're waiting. Because I remember coming in.
So what do you think about all this, Chris? Fun, huh?
like the helicopter.
You like the helicopter? Which one? That one. You like helicopters?
Cool helicopter. Mess. Probably a lot cleaner when you right. We're preparing for a very big event tomorrow, so things are very messy around
This
here.
is my stateroom?
Like this.
Oh.
This is
Yeah.
How exciting!
The outrage.
This is your
I
office.
should go clean
right.
this
So
stateroom.
this is what it looks like now.
So, Dad, this is it?
No, this is.
No, no, no.
Oh, I
No,
see.
we have
Yours was in
bedrooms.
this-
No, the next one.
Can we see that one?
Absolutely. We'll go to the next
She said,
one.
oh, I gotta go clean it real quick.
I'm trying to stall.
Whose room was this, Dad?
This looks like the exec's
You got
room.
a pretty big place here.
Yeah, it's
You do
swanky.
a lot of entertaining, I guess.
Yeah. Have your 5 o'clock cocktail hour.
Have you ever been on an aircraft carrier?
This is the second trip to this one.
He's never been down here.
This is the education department. So we have classrooms down here, and that's one of our classrooms.
I don't remember that space. This is,
Oh, yeah, this is but I believe that this is your
wasn't
space.
this part of the wardroom? This doesn't look like my entrance at
Air
all.
officers.
Oh, let me see.
Just pretend
you're-
you're at sea for fun.
Are your initials carved anywhere here, Dad?
Uh,
Well, it's got, yeah, this wasn't a temporary deal.
there used
didn't
to
have
be
the palm
a
tree.
shower and bathroom right here.
Or a couch or a chair.
This doesn't look like it at all.
Really?
But dimension-wise, it's correct.
Where's the shower and
Maybe down,
bathroom?
maybe the next office.
Shower and bathroom was here.
Right, right over here.
And I don't remember this part sticking up here.
And this
there no-
plant was definitely
no,
not here.
passageway.
They might have made
This
it.
is too big. I wasn't that swell.
But that's the head and the shower there.
It's got, it must be in the other place.
Matthew, you might have made it more.
Yeah, see, and mine head and shower was not this large
Not
either.
that spacious.
It was about half as big as this.
Half
So-
as big? I
Well,
don't
no.
think any other head that's around here, other than
Well,
mine.
And yours is.
It was a
bigger.
little bit, it was certainly smaller than this.
Maybe.
But it was,
Well, did you scratch anything in the walls we can look for?
no,
It's in
no.
the 60s, so it was. Well,
After, right?
were you here before the straight flight deck, or during the straight flight deck, or the angle flight deck?
Oh, angle flight deck. I was here
You were
during the
in
Mercury recovery of Carpenter.
Oh, Carpenter was just on board not too long
I
ago.
heard that, yeah.
Yeah, we have some pictures.
I guess that was before he died.
No, that's.
No, Carpenter's
Oh,
alive.
sorry. I'm thinking of Shepherd.
Don't kill him off yet. We want to come speak
We
next
want to
month.
try to. I don't know. Let's go down a little further. Let's
Yeah,
see.
this, I think, of all the spaces, this had, it's most likely, and I think they
Yeah,
just,
it says air officers above here, 2885.
yeah, this,
I don't know if you remember the.
this must
There's another
be.
choice, just in case.
Yeah, let's go down.
Maybe they moved it or
Susan, do
something.
you have your keys?
Sure do.
Let's open up the.
You ladies don't rent out rooms here, do you? I
We'll
can
look
see.
at this one after a minute.
That's really
This is
smell.
our space.
Same smell.
There's no. Oh, really? This is parts of
It should have
Craft
been that,
It's a
after, see, there's not even room
Where's ours?
for a bed,
Oh,
the bed was right
That's
here.
really a mess.
And this
That's,
shouldn't be.
yeah, that's our to-be library.
It's our library in progress.
It's our current project.
They may have changed a lot of things.
Yeah, they may have. Because I was on the Lexington.
Yeah, the smell, Rob. It really
Yeah, it
smells the
is.
same.
I still
and I
remember
came down
it
to
being
this
that.
exact space.
We go home smelling like the ship. And I had people started telling me, my friends started telling me when I first started working
Really
here,
gross.
you smell like an Intrepid.
I think
Your
it would
clothes
be
will
more
smell.
like this size.
Yeah, it is, except the space in here wouldn't take the beds.
The Lexington, I think it was, see, the Lexington.
You can go in there, that's called the gross room, and there's a reason
I
why.
remember, there's a fitting, there was a fitting right on that.
That's gross, isn't it?
But I had an antenna sticking out from my radio.